Hi, this is Jackie's Reading Room, and I'm your host, Jackie P. Have you turned some pages today? Love makes the world go around. All you need is love. Love is blind. There are so many expressions, sayings, and quotes using the word love that I cannot name them all here. Just in the 10th edition of the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, the word love has 3 columns dedicated to it as a verb, as a noun, with its synonyms and idiomatic expressions, and 2-part words like love interest and love life. Love is indeed all around us and can, of course, also be found in many books, films, TV series, songs, plays, and poetry. Everyone knows Juliet's famous call to Romeo. "O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet." If you go back and listen to previous episodes of Jackie's Reading Room, which I hope that you do, you will notice many examples of books about love or that contain a love story. Episode 22, for example, which is about young adult fiction, mentioned 2 novels I enjoyed that feature a forbidden relationship between 2 young women in Last Night at the Telegraph Club. You remember that, by Melinda Lowe. And the story of 2 teens who fall for each other in 5 Feet Apart, but who cannot touch, right? Because they have, I believe 5 Feet Apart is about cystic fibrosis or some kind of lung issue. I believe that's what it was. You should definitely check those out. Young adult titles often feature impossible love. You just have to think of a young girl who was torn between a vampire and a werewolf. Twilight, anyway. But also think of a novel like Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon that came out in 2017, which stars a young woman who cannot leave her house because of a rare disease, and she sort of meets her new neighbor through her window. And well, I guess you're going to have to read it to find out. I have to say it's one of those young adult titles that I really like. I've read a few, you know that, but that one resonated with me. Just recently, I finished reading the children's novel Pax by Sarah Pennypacker that was published in 2019. And it's about a young boy and his tamed fox. It's so beautiful. I will be honest with you. I was crying by myself on my sofa at the end. My youngest daughter read that for school, and I wanted to discuss it with her. So I picked up a copy myself and read it. So there are so many kinds of love, right? So the love of a parent, the love of course, a potential partner. And in 2021, I read I guess, a modern classic that is all about that. And you may have seen the film version. It's a love story that came out in 1970 and written by Eric Siegel. I really loved that book. It's actually a very small novel, and it's got some iconic lines. And like I was saying, you may have seen the film version. A lot of love stories end up being on the big screen. I think we all, as human beings, love to watch people fall in love on screen, whether they are young, old, sick, or it's all about the loving feeling. Looking at my bookshelves, I realized that I own many books that contain sad, hopeful, or tragic love stories, such as the splendid speculative fiction novel The Road by Cormac McCarthy that was published in 2007. I have the book here. Listen, I read that when I was pregnant with my second daughter, and I was literally bawling my eyes out. And this is about the fierce love between a man and his son in a world that's literally reduced to ash, right? It's a very dark world that they live in. But that story of that man and his son, wow. Um, I, I, I kept, I usually keep books that I've read that I feel that bring me joy, right? Anybody who's read Mary Kondo, does it bring you joy? So yes, my books bring me tremendous joy, and The Road, definitely, it's one of those books that I just want to keep it. So parent-child story here. I also have a few novels by Jojo Moyes. She is an English journalist and novelist. Her full name is Pauline Sarah Jo Moyes. She is married and has 3 children. She lives in Essex, England, and you may recognize that name from several titles, especially her first novel that came out in 2012, entitled Me Before You. Same thing, you may have seen the film. The film actually came out in 2016, and it stars Emilia Clarke and Sam Claflin. And I have to say, I was charmed by this very sweet little film. I have the book. I am afraid to say that I have not read it. It's not that long. It's a little pocket book. It sold 6 million copies, so goes to show that people really enjoy love stories. It was also translated. Well, actually, all of Jojo Moyes' books have been translated into 46 languages, and they've sold 40 million copies worldwide. So there is a market clearly for love stories out there. Just like in many historical fiction titles, I have a section in my new bookshelves that I got that focuses on historical fiction, and many of those stories contain a love story, and sometimes between a soldier and maybe a nurse, and so on. But to go back to short love stories, they are all around you. If you go to your local bookstore or library, you will definitely find that there's a lot there. I actually, as I was doing my research, I came across this list that is entitled "The 27 Greatest Romance Novels to Read in Your Lifetime," and this was published on the Oprah Daily website. And it has some classics like number one, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, which was released in 1813. It's been some time, and yet I don't have the statistics, but I can imagine that several copies of this book to this day are still sold, obviously made into a film or several films. Number two, another classic, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte from 1847. And so on. You could also think of other stories like Frankenstein. I believe I mentioned Frankenstein as one of my favorite classics in my episode on classics. And Frankenstein is, at its heart, a love story between Victor Frankenstein and his darling Elizabeth. He does everything that he can to save his family and to save her. So it's really all around us, and you'll be. I'm sure you know this, but the love story doesn't have to be the main topic, right? It could be inside the novel. Obviously, one of the classics, I would say modern classics, is The Notebook, right? Book and film have been very, very popular. But And so if you look at your any screen near you, maybe Netflix or Prime or etc., whatever you have access to at home, or even if you go to the movie theater and go through some shelves, for sure you're going to find this some kind of love story out there. So I hope that it's inspired you to share the love of reading, and share the love of this podcast that I enjoy doing. And until next time, take care and keep on turning those pages.